Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares is one of the best pieces of food media ever created.
Really? Fuck me. Seriously?
Why throw my limits like that for? Why are you taking my product and you're molding you?
Hey, look.
I would confidently say that there is nobody more equipped to take on America's culinary wasteland than Scotland's own celebrity Michelin star chef, Gordon Ramsay, despite what some of the restaurant owners think themselves.
I really don't think Chef Ramsay know how to cook soul food. Just like I wouldn't know how to make food that British eat.
Through the course of any given episode of this television show, this man is subjected to food poisoning, delusional psychosis, and verbal abuse.
You're a disgrace to the industry.
Not that he's not dealing that out himself as well.
You are so in denial.
Okay.
You need therapy.
I personally have been watching this show on repeat, no exaggeration, for the past 6 years of my life. It's gotten to the point where I could probably give you a plot synopsis of every episode in the show's entire history. I can't fully explain the brain chemistry responsible for this that's going on in my head currently, but I can assure you that I am quite normal, quite healthy, and can be trusted with firearms. For today's video, however, we are going to be putting a spotlight on some of the worst dishes in the show's history. Recipes that's very foundations could be constituted as war crimes and/or human rights violations. I am valiantly going to attempt to fix these recipes and make them not only edible, but hopefully delicious. So I hope you're hungry, because this one is going to be a doozy.
They go global.
Oftentimes the very reason that these restaurants that are failing are calling Gordon for help is because the food itself is atrocious in some capacity, much to the chagrin and shock of the restaurant owners and chefs.
Why doesn't he just leave it alone?
You would think with a consistently empty restaurant and tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt racked up that these restaurant owners would understand that there might be something wrong with the food, but it certainly makes for good television when they try and defend an indefensible position.
What do you think they would feel like if you told them the day special was cooked a week ago, frozen?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they would probably be surprised that it was so good and that it was made last week and frozen.
There are a variety of reasons that the dishes that Gordon samples when trying the restaurant's offerings end up being shit, but for today's video, we will break them down into a few unique categories to get a more holistic understanding. The first category would be dishes that completely lack seasoning or flavor, which end up being disappointing at best or outright tasteless at worst. Restaurants where the chef certainly isn't tasting any of the food that they're making often end up being the culprits here, but there are a few episodes where this is actually by design, in order not to offend the older and aging clientele of the restaurant. And you know for a damn fact that the producers will not miss an opportunity to call out the elderly.
Our clientele that comes to the restaurant are old people. All the servers, they read the obituaries to see if our customers are listed on there.
Another category of bad food would be the dishes where the execution just isn't meeting standards, which is code for chefs using alien-level techniques, such as choosing to grill the lettuce for a salad.
I've never thought about it, but it's true. Like, wait, why are we grilling lettuce?
Also included in this category would be the Kitchen Nightmares classic technique of freezing foods for days or even weeks, and then microwaving them back to life to serve to customers. Part of the inspiration for the very name of this channel actually comes from an episode where the hardest working chef in the kitchen is a non-human, underpaid machine entity.
We use Chef Mike a lot. Whenever there's lights on in this restaurant, Chef Mike's working. He's a dedicated employee.
Even after years of being a diligent and loyal employee, they end up slaughtering Chef Mike at the end of the episode, with everybody joyfully cheering on his execution. The third category would include dishes that are just outright poisonous to consume, causing some minor foodborne illness and tummy turmoil at the very least, or just outright killing people at worst. Some of you are definitely thinking that this is a joke right now, but people get straight up hospitalized in these episodes. Even Gordon himself isn't safe from this, as there are numerous episodes where he's straight up pulling trig in the bathroom. And I even recall one where the owner is actually delighted and laughing at his suffering.
Oh no.
Holy crap.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Oh, they stink. Oh.
The last and most relevant category for me to break down today are dishes where the flavors are just horrible, like the actual combination and concept of the dish just sucks ass. There are a fair few dishes that land in this category because they were actually created by the owners, aka people who have no chef or culinary experience. There is an episode of this TV show where, once again, no joke or exaggeration, the owner puts a recipe on the menu that they received via a dream.
Our claim to fame came in a dream from someone who knows nothing about food or how to prepare it.
Imagine if God himself, the creator of the universe, revealed divine knowledge to humanity, and it was specifically this man from Beaver, Pennsylvania, and all it was the recipe for a shitty pasta sauce.
My Carletta sauce is inspired by God.
Owners aren't purely responsible for the horrible tasting dishes on the menu, as chefs contribute their fair share as well, trust me. And this actually segues me quite well into selecting the dishes that I will want to prepare for today's video. If I really wanted to be lazy, I could have just taken any undercooked burger or steak from any given episode, cooked it properly and dressed it up a little bit, and then called this video a success, but you know that I don't play like that. I crave a true challenge. I had a lot of dishes to choose from when it came to recreating one for this video, but it's not immediately apparent on those episodes how the dishes were just so horrible or how they were made so bad, let alone how they were made at all. What I needed to do was sift through the entire series and find recipes where I could at least follow along in some capacity and know how they were made, or it's just obvious enough through the presentation of the dish so I can recreate it in my own way. Fortunately for me, I think I found just the two I'm looking for, which were the Old Hitching Post's Cranberry Haddock and Leela's Chocolate Mint Lamb. Alright, so let me break down my approach for the two dishes. So for the Cranberry Haddock, I will be doing a relatively similar preparation to what was shown in the episode, modifying just a few of the ingredients and cooking procedures to hopefully make something far tastier than what Gordon had when he was served at the restaurant. For the mint chocolate lamb, though, I am going to remix it into something entirely new. Brand new identity, but still maintain those three core components of the lamb, the mint, and the chocolate. I actually even bought a new Mystery Mouse tool, which I will reveal later, to help me cook this dish in an interesting fashion. With all that said, let's turn these nightmares back into dreams. The good kind of dreams.
What's up, guys? I'm Mo Bradbury. I'm Ethan. Cranberry.
We will start with the easier and more basic of the two, with the Cranberry Haddock. This dish comes from the Old Hitching Post, which is an American eatery located in Hanson, Massachusetts. And in the episode, they make it a point to call out Hanson as the cranberry capital of America. The town is actually the original location for the Ocean Spray Cranberry Corporation, which accounts for 70% of North America's cranberry production. The restaurant itself obviously reflects this, as well as the table settings, walls, and even the dishes reflect cranberry country. When Gordon gets his hands on the Cranberry Haddock from the Old Hitching Post's original menu, it's clear immediately that he's not very satisfied with it.
Watery and bland. That is absolutely disgusting. God, that was gnarly.
As you could probably guess, the owner, Tom, who looks like he's fresh from the Skyrim character creation menu, is not very pleased with this take and insists that existing customers, as well as himself, very much enjoy the dish.
I eat once a week. People love it. People taking them home. They eat today and they take it 2-3 orders home. The Saffron's didn't like it.
I'm gonna have to agree with Gordon here. I don't really see what there is to love about a fish dish that dribbles mysterious juices off the side of the plate when you tilt it.
What's the water coming up? I mean, look.
Peace. In good news, though, this is one of the restaurants from the series that is actually still open to this day if you were to visit it in the town of Hanson. But it's been sold to new owners in 2022, so don't expect to find Tom there. Unfortunately, both after the revamp that took place in 2012 during the episode, as well as in modern day 2024, there's no indication that a Cranberry Haddock exists on the Old Hitching Post's menu. So it is I and I alone who can resurrect this monstrosity and bring it back from the grave, is what I thought until I located a YouTube short while creating this video from creator Unlicensed Chef. It turns out this ominous individual recreated the dish exactly as it had been seen on the show, somewhat similar to what I'm doing, but failed to show their face or provide any additional commentary outside of that, which left a few in the comments very confused. Rest assured, dear viewer, that my Cranberry Haddock will be quite the remix from the original concoction, And unlike the unlicensed chef, I view and respond to nearly all comments on my videos, no matter how peculiar they are. My version of cranberry haddock will include haddock fillets, salt, pepper, soy sauce, honey, balsamic vinegar, olive oil, garlic, and a homemade cranberry sauce from dried cranberries. I searched far and wide, both online and in stores, for frozen cranberries, as there was no shot of getting a seasonal fruit like cranberries fresh, but all I could find were dried ones.
Dry?
Just a minute.
In my culinary research, I determined it would be possible and normal to prepare a sauce using the dried cranberries rehydrated with cranberry juice, so that is how I'll get my sauce today, instead of just buying one, from the store. I'll begin by adding my dried cranberries, cranberry juice, the juice and zest of an orange, sugar, and a dash of salt to my saucepan, and heat until it reaches a boil. And don't worry, I made sure to use my LGBTQ+ knife to properly deal with this zesty orange.
Oh, Little Wayne, he's just too good.
You gotta give Wayne the love.
Too good.
Returning to my dish, I'll need the berries to rehydrate and the fruit flavors to mature a little, which means once I hit that boil, I'll lower to simmer and cook for around 8 minutes before adding a slurry of cornstarch and water to thicken the sauce. After that's all stirred up, I will have my cranberry sauce prepared to be used in my dish. Preparation of the overall dish won't be too much more complicated, and I'll start by preheating my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, greasing my baking tray, and seasoning my haddock fillets with simple salt and pepper before placing them on the tray. I will set my fish aside and then begin making the cranberry glaze, which will obviously start with my homemade cranberry sauce, followed by soy sauce, honey, balsamic, olive oil, and minced garlic. I'll cook this over medium heat for another 5 minutes to get everything combined before conducting a taste test and adjusting any components. And I can tell you right now that this already tastes pretty good. All that's left now is to pour my cranberry glaze over my haddock and bake that for 12 minutes. To accompany my hadberry crandock today, I will slice, season, and cook up some very simple sweet potato rounds in my air fryer, as well as torture more garlic to saute with some spinach, very similar to the side dishes from the episode. With all the items completed, I'd say that the fish doesn't look half bad, especially when placed in the friendly company of the side dishes. Unfortunately for me, the only company I'm sharing this meal with is a charming bag of Domino granulated sugar with a mustache, but I only hang out with him because he holds my phone up. I know people get scared and start fleeing when I'm mukbanging for too long, so I'll keep it quick. The cranberry haddock was honestly delicious, as the plainer fish went nice with the aggressive bright flavors of the sauce that was associated with it. The spinach was alright, but after sampling several sweet potato rounds, I determined that the middles of the thicker ones were still raw. Whatever, dude, fuck that. The fish was dope, so this dish is a certified W. Giat Kaisenet Aisha Speed 7 out of 10.
Oh, would you look at that? There's a member of the local wildlife with us now.
The second dish, as mentioned previously, will be the lamb with chocolate mint sauce, which is from Lila's in Pomona, California. The restaurant is described initially in the episode as a fine dining establishment by both the owner and the chef, but they're serving nachos and consistently don't have 60% of the menu even in stock. This is actually one of my favorite episodes of the series in retrospect, just because of the sweeping generalizations that they make through the opening sequence, such as characterizing the town of Pomona as a place where only artists, college students, car enthusiasts, and homeless people reside.
There's a lot of homeless people. I don't believe that Lila's fits Pomona.
Wow, what a paradise. I'll definitely be sure to visit. Oh yeah, and that's not to mention this other classic line.
The chef is fresh from the hood.
Diamonds on my fish, good. Diamonds on my fish. I'm hot.
Do you think that the producers of the show had any evidence that this guy was from a hood background, or did they just say that entirely unprovoked? Gordon takes a few looks at the menu and immediately decides that he's going to go with the speciality of the house.
The rack of lamb with the chocolate mint sauce.
When the dish arrives to the table, Gordon immediately complains about the lack of meat on the lamb, effectively rizzing the waitress as per usual, and then delivers his review directly to the chef.
You can't serve fucking lamb with chocolate sauce. I mean, are you mad?
As you can also probably guess, the dish was not included as part of the revamp and was never seen again. With such an insane combination of flavors, it's clear that this dish had no right to exist in its current form, especially when the chef was using Hershey's chocolate syrup. Certainly, there is no way anybody else has ever attempted this combination again.
Hi, welcome to Taste Kitchen by Aldi. Now today, I'm going to show you how to make your Easter lamb amazing with this beautiful chocolate and mint sauce.
Bruh. Aldi, dude, what are you doing, dude? You're stealing my entire flow like 7 years before I was supposed to invent it on YouTube. Speedrunning through this entire video ended up showing me the poor man Jamie Oliver creating a red wine reduction with a lamb and chocolate mint sauce and then drizzling this over some cooked lamb leg. If you think my commentary there was a little bit harsh about this random Aldi cooking YouTuber, just know that that comment did not come from me. It came from the only commenter on this video, Mr. Martino Malley. This guy did the classic combination of absolutely roasting this man and his recipe, shitting on the video, then exiting with a properly timed dad joke. Truly an inspiration.
Go on, kill the boy! Who the fuck are you?
With the gauntlet thrown down before me by both Chef Ricky and the Aldi Grocery Corporation, I knew I had to swag out as much as possible with this dish recreation. Remember, all I'm taking from the original recipe are those 3 core components: the lamb, the mint, and the chocolate, and I'm using dark chocolate today. Everything else about this dish, hell, my very life is about to get flipped upside down when I fall in love with a gay rattlesnake, when I purchase a new piece of kitchen equipment, the Moroccan tagine. This cooking vessel is designed specifically to facilitate steam circulation inside of the lid, which will help keep my dish moist and flavorful. The dish I will be making inside this contraption, also called tagine itself, will be a combination of vegetables, lamb, spices, and of course my chocolate and mint at the end. I will start by liberating my bone-in lamb leg from its bondage gear before transitioning it directly to the pan. I want to brown every side of this lamb leg effectively before cooking it in the tagine to enhance its inherent flavors. Having had showered myself earlier in that day, I was already used to manhandling some sizable meat, so this 2-pound lamb leg proved no challenge. I'm sorry. Once that's completed and set aside temporarily, I will add some olive oil to my tagine before cooking 2 large onions down. It may seem like I'm onion maxing for no reason here, but trust me when I say that this will be reduced to atoms by the time I'm done with it. Once those onions soften up, I'll add some garlic to fry as well before introducing the lamb and some chicken broth. I'll add enough broth to cover the bottom of the tagine by around an inch or 2 in order to keep everything nice and moist. At this point, I'll add the ground cumin, ginger, turmeric, cloves, salt, pepper, and what I worried was an excessive amount of cinnamon to the tagine. I'll stir and rotate all that together so everybody gets to know each other before covering the tagine and letting this baby rock for around 3.5 hours. You can't say that I don't put effort into these videos when I'm starving myself for hours, hotboxing my home with the scent of spiced meat, all for your entertainment. I deserve a Medal of Honor for this shit.
You stuck-up precious little bitch!
In the meantime, we continue Zest Fest 2024 by zesting yet another orange to add with honey, dark chocolate, and chopped mint after the lamb is fully cooked off.
3 hours later.
Popping the top of my tagine off, I immediately test with a fork and can tell that the lamb has been cooked to that perfect level. I made a promise to myself when I started this channel that I would never PogChamp in a video, but the delectable seasoned meat proved too much for me to handle. It tastes absolutely delicious and normal as is, but I know for the sake of this video, I'll have to force myself to add my spooky ingredients to the mixture. Once I've combined everything and turned my lamb round and round, I'll need to let this cook for an additional 10 minutes to combine completely. The finished mixture has a fascinating aroma, color, and texture, but I won't let that dissuade me from serving up a nice big helping for myself. Finally bringing it to my table, I tentatively try a few bites before making a shocking realization. Alright, I'm coming to you live from eating this shit right now. This is fucking crazy, dude. This is actually nuts that this works, bro, like this. This is crazy. Look at this shit. Literally looks like shit. And I'm fucking eating it, and it tastes fucking delicious. What does that make me? Yeah, so by some miracle, this actually tasted really damn good. I wonder what Gordon himself would think about this.
It has to be the biggest ad for any diaper anywhere in California.
Oh no.
8 out of 10. What is there really to be learned from this video? Is to subscribe to the channel and like the video, bitch. No, actually the lesson is that incompetent people should not open restaurants. If I, a person with no culinary training and the IQ of a silverback gorilla, can take these horrible recipe concepts and make them not only edible but arguably pretty tasty, in my fair opinion, it really has to make you wonder what's going on with some of these people. How do they have jobs? why can they vote?
Vote for me, President of the United States.
Jokes aside though, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry for the delay in uploads. I was busy gambling away my rent money. Next video should be pretty cool if you're a fan of the Lyrical Recipe series. Until then, do me a favor and get out.